first video in the introductory series for business clients of Commercial Law Group and business people in general. I want to talk about starting the business and how an attorney can help you start your business. You may think that because everything can be done on your own in some fashion, that you don't need attorneys anymore, and that is really oversimplification. I want to stress, and one thing that we've made a very concerted effort over the last 12 months to go through all of the rules in the areas where we practice and review the corporate documents and the structure. And I want to get this out there. If you used LegalZoom or one of the other, you put in the quarter and they crank out the documents, you can still modify those. There are several decisions that you've already made that cannot be changed. And so if there are serious problems, then the entity might need to be terminated and start again, which is possible, but you don't want to wait too long to determine whether or not that should be done. But if you get some of these pre-printed package deals, one thing that you should know, I haven't looked at all of them, but the ones I know for LegalZoom, they default to the state law. So while you think you're making different choices and you might look at these documents not really understanding what they are supposed to say, when there is a choice, they default to the state law. And so what I've noticed is they don't give you a pamphlet or any information on what those rules are. So that's an easy way for them to crank out the same documents from coast to coast, even though every single state has different rules. So you are agreeing to a rule even if you don't see it in there, and we're able to tell you what those are so that you can make the informed decision as far as whether that's what you want or not, what those ramifications are to you and your company later on, and how they work together. So that's number one. Number two, what entity are you using? What entity are you forming and why? There should be a reason, and not all of them are the same. The LLC is touted as easy. Well, not really, because if you go down the road and then want to have investors, you've got the wrong entity, and that could be problematic and raise all kinds of issues, problems, challenges, and financial issues as well at that time. So you want to know, what is the purpose? How is this company going to run? What is it going to do? Choose the entity to match what you're doing. There are also tax ramifications, so the accountant needs to be involved. Some accountants will help you form a company by plugging it in online. They don't usually prepare, that I know of, bylaws or operating agreements or partnership agreements or shareholder agreements, and you need all of those. So check your documents and then go to the person best suited for you to help you get that where it should be for what you want to do. There are registrations that are required for different kinds of companies depending upon size. There are other types of rules depending upon location, the purpose, and more. So some of these you may be aware of by the industry that you've gone into, but you might not be aware of them by location or as you go to expand or spread into different markets or go into different types of functions in your business area. Procedures is important in your initial documents, how you're going to let people in, how you're going to value the company, how and when people are going to get out, what the different authority is for the different people involved, and how capital calls will be handled, whether or not there are borrowing authorizations, a whole host of things and options. You need to explore the ones that are going to pertain to what you're doing and be prepared to change and know when, have somebody help you know when those need to be changed or at least examined. And then finally, the reason most people have it in their head that they know they need to form an entity is for their protection. Do you know what you need protection from? Do you know how you can make sure that you get that protection? And do you know the things that you're doing that might interfere or negate that protection? Those are all issues and topics that you really should review with your professional staff. And it's also a great opportunity to form a relationship with someone, because you may need not just a person when something goes wrong, you may need somebody when something goes right. And that's not the time that you want to be running around and interviewing. So this is a really good opportunity for you to make that connection and relationship up front.